This is the Becoming Muslim podcast at untoislam.com, the show that helps people convert to Islam with hosts from the US, UK, and Australia.
Let me tell you, when I took my Shahada, I cried because it was of joy. I've always wanted to be a Muslim. I would have converted a long time ago, but of course I was raised Catholic, and I've always had my doubts since I asked a lot of questions and it wasn't answered. So.
And he started to see that. He was like, okay, yeah, I'm Christian because my mom was, my dad was, I'm Catholic. And I'm like, okay, but are you? So it's, what are we? What do we go by? What do we go by? What do we live our lives by? It's amazing when you actually learn it and you see, what do I live my life by? And you grasp it. It helps you be a better person. I know Catholicism. I can't be a hypocrite, so I can't explain and be ignorant and explain Methodist or whatever else. But I was a Catholic. I can explain that Islam and filtered Catholicism.
A lot of people are going to judge me wrong, but it doesn't matter what they think. It matters what I believe. And that's my belief. And can't nobody change that. No matter if you're my family, you're my blood family, no matter what. If you can't respect me for my decisions and you can't respect me for who I am, then you wasn't really my family. You know what I mean? Because he always told me, no matter what goes on in your life, you could go to a Hamas and they will never turn their back on you. They will greet you with open arms. They will help you out.
Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Even that rhymed just right there alone itself. Even Ameen at the end, it rhymed. Somebody had to write that cared about us and wanted us all, from every background, whatever, wherever you're from, whatever you believe, to learn. Even if you don't believe, listen, learn it. It's going to catch.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us.
Okay.
Inshallah, okay.
All right. So your name is Angel, is that right?
Yes.
Angel was in an accident. He was caught on fire. So he had an experience where he was caught on fire and a accident for his job where something blew up on him. Oh, yeah. And his body was caught on fire. So he had to get his skin replaced by a pig, and a cadaver, and he has different skin replaced. So he went through a lot of experiences where, Islam could have affected his life more. Later on, I hope, inshallah, things will come together for him and he'll see why things happen and how he can be rewarded by even being on fire in Islam. Being set on fire in Islam, you have a special place in Jannah. People who die by fire even see a special place in Jannah and rewarded. Right. So there's always a reward in Islam for everything that we go through. We both, he was actually my driver. He was a driver for me and we got to know each other. He was driving me and my dad said, I have a problem with alcohol. And I was telling my father, I want to come home. And he said, you need to come home. And I called an Uber driver and I said, the Uber driver, the designated driver, they came to pick me up, and it was Angel, and his name was Angel. And it was like we both help each other. So we became very good friends. And alhamdulillah, it's been a good friendship ever since then. And I told him, you need to take this opportunity, because even later on in your Islam, you'll see how many Muslims, inshallah, you can help and how you can affect their life. You might feel shy or something, but you'll see later on how it can help you, not just somebody else.
Okay. So your name was Aisha, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you born Muslim?
Aren't we all? But no, actually, we are both Catholic. We both went to Catholicism, and we had I don't know, was your mother Catholic? My family is Egyptian or Arab, but doesn't practice religion. And my father is actually Italian and he's Turkish. We're American, so we're like mixed. We all have the different backgrounds. So it was like something I was always my whole life religious. Even in Christianity, I read the Bible, but it was like, and I think maybe as him being Puerto Rican, Catholicism was big for him too. Because in Italy, I guess, obviously Catholicism is big. It's where we're known for Catholicism, and he is Hispanic, so we're known for our religious backgrounds in our traditions as being Christian, Catholic. And I don't know. Anyways, so we both practice it. And then I found Islam, and it's actually what my mother's family should have or did learn, but didn't practice. It wasn't continued. So that's how it is. A lot of things in America are like that. Unfortunately, we say, okay, I am what my mom was. I am what my dad was. We don't actually practice it. There's a difference between being something and, okay, my family was that. All right, do you practice it? Is that what your belief is? Is that really your belief? Is that what you go by? It's a way of life. And he started to see that. He was like, okay, yeah, I'm Christian because my mom was, my dad was, I'm Catholic. And I'm like, okay, but are you? So it's, what are we? What do we go by? What do we go by? What do we live our lives by? Like, what do we do that about? Like, it's amazing when you actually learn it and you see, what do I live my life by? And you grasp it, and it helps you be a better person for somebody else, even not just for yourself, for somebody else. So yeah, we were both born, I think, raised Catholic. I think that would be the right answer for that.
Okay. And so when did you convert to Islam? What age was it?
21.
Okay. And so
I'm 31 now.
Yeah. All right. So that's 10 years. And for Angel, how long ago did he convert?
I converted
like 3 weeks ago.
It was March 17th.
Oh, you remember. Alhamdulillah.
Great. All right. So what's it been like so far? Have you felt any changes?
Let me tell you, when I took my Shahada, I cried because it was of joy, because I've always wanted to be a Muslim. I was born in New York City, and I had a friend that I was close to that was a Muslim. And if I would have stayed in New York, I would have converted a long time ago. But with the circumstance of my mother passing, I had to leave New York. and moved to Florida. And of course, I was raised Catholic, and I've always had my doubts since I asked a lot of questions and it wasn't answered. So I moved up here to Pennsylvania. Been here since '88, and I became friends with Aisha, and she was like the spark, and she lit the fire, and I wanted to become a Muslim. And ever since March 17th, I've been doing it. This is my first Ramadan, and it was something that I have to get used to. But I know in time I will
Appreciate it.
I will appreciate it more. I've been reading the Quran. I've been doing a lot of studying. I joined the mosque. Um, so it's been a great feeling. But and still in all, I'm still learning. I feel like I'm still crawling, and with the love of Allah, and that I'm gonna grow up to be a very good Muslim, because I love helping people. I love to oh my God, how could I say it? I love to succeed, and I love to also bring people closer to Islam. I really do believe in that. Since I've been reading and everything, a lot of my answers have been answered. So far so good.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, so you mentioned like you're taking small steps, you're crawling, and it's still very early for you. So you don't need to rush it at all, and take it step by step and try and absorb it all. And the main thing is to enjoy it. Don't push yourself. Don't make it hard for yourself.
Yes.
Everything.
Yes. I like I said, I want to learn Arab. I want to learn Arabic. I want to learn. There's a lot that I want to learn. It's just over here. There's a lot of Muslims, and it's hard for me to find someone that I could really rely on, because I still have a lot of questions. I mean, Aisha is great. She does teach me a lot, but I need a brother that I could really confide in, because there's a lot of questions that I need to be answered, and for I could do the right thing. Because there's a lot that I have to do from my readings that, for me to be a complete Muslim. And I'm willing to do it at the age of 47. I mean, I feel that there's no age. You know what I mean? There's nothing that I could do that Allah doesn't allow me to do. I mean, I just feel that He has blessed me. I feel that this is something that I feel that He led me to this. Everything happens for a reason. And in His love, and with all His love and all His grace and everything that He has done for me, like I said, I've been caught on fire. I almost died, and I'm still here. I'm still breathing. And I feel that He has blessed me with everything that I have. And I know that there's more blessings that He is going to bestow on me. So I'm just new. I'm new to this, and I really want to take this serious. I don't want to be a hypocrite. I you know, I just want to do everything right, and I just need a lot of help.
Sure. And you said that Aisha was the spark for you for all of this to happen. Can you explain more about that? What happened?
Well, when I met her, I saw her with her hijabi.
Her job.
Her job. I mean, I'm sorry. And it was just something that she lit my eyes. She was something very special, and I feel like everything happens for a reason. And I feel like Allah brought her to me, and we met. And ever since December 3rd, it was just like, I want to do right. I want to live the right way. And she has taught me so much. And when she was just talking to me, she was reading the Quran to me, teaching me, and it was just like, this is the time for me to do it. So I'm not saying that I would have done it, but she was the spark. She was the one that lit the fire in my heart to do it. And I feel like this was the proper time to do it. And it, like I said, it felt so good when I took my shahada. Like I said, I cried like a baby because I just felt like a big relief off my chest. I felt the joy, I felt the love, and she was there with me when I took it. So she was the major part. She, like I said, she was the spark that lit this fuse, and I just don't want to disappoint her, and I don't want to disappoint myself, but I also don't want to disappoint Allah. We all do bad things. We all do. We all sinners since the day we was born, and I just want to live the right way.
But are we?
But she's like, she's my everything. She means more to me than life itself, and I just want to. I want to be a good man. I want to be what Allah wants me to be, how He made me, how He created me. Like she tells me, there's times that I'll sit there and I'll say that I'm ugly and fat, and she says, if you sit there and say that about yourself, then you're saying bad things about Allah, because Allah made you in His image. So she's my everything. She's the one that lit this fire, and I believe that with me and her put together, there's nothing that could stop us. I really truly believe that. So she's my everything. I mean, I keep repeating that, but she doesn't understand the fire that she started. Like I said, when I was caught on fire, I know what fire means. And I know that when she lit that spark, that fire would never go out. Because I really truly believe in Allah. I love Allah, and I know that I'm not living in His vision, and I'm sorry for that. But I know that He forgives me because He's a forgiving person, and it's just, I want to do right. I want to be right for her, and I want to be right for me.
So tell me more about Aisha. When she was explaining Islam to you, and when you were considering about becoming Muslim, was it more of the facts that she was saying which made you convert, or was it more from her character and the way she is?
No, it's her character. It's just the way she lives. I mean, the way she carries herself. She really is for Allah, and she's just like, if I'm doing something wrong, she tells me. She explains to me. Like she was teaching me the prayer, the Fatiha, and everything. She tells me what I'm supposed to do. Even when I'm doing wrong, she tells me when I'm doing wrong. So it's her character. It's that that makes me want to be better, a better Muslim, and better for her.
Okay, and you said you have a lot of your questions have been answered in recently about Islam. Would you like to share what questions they were?
Well, a lot of it was about Abraham. Because like in the Holy Bible, it really doesn't talk a lot about Abraham. Abraham was a guy that was supposed to sacrifice his son, and he built a house that every Muslim dreams of going to, to praise and to go visit. And if it wasn't for Abraham and of course Prophet Muhammad, it was, that is the center of Islam. That's like the Mecca. That's everything. You know what I mean? That's where I believe that he's, Allah is gonna come there when it's Judgment Day. You know what I mean? And also about Prophet Muhammad. Gabriel angel came to him, and he couldn't read or he couldn't write, and he was the last messenger for all men. We wasn't taught about that in Catholic school, in CCD and all that stuff. We was just taught that Jesus was the last Messiah. And, and it really was Prophet Muhammad that taught us the proper way, that taught us the real way of becoming closer to Allah and living the proper way. So, like I said, I still have a lot of reading to do, and everything like that. But that was majority of, when it all just started coming to play, because I've always believed Abraham was something special, just like Moses was, and everybody else.
It's almost like the filtered Catholicism. That's the way I try to explain it to people that are Catholic. It's like a filtered Catholicism, like think of Catholicism and think of it filtered out. Like take all the bad out, take all the problems out, take all the wrong out, or what he said or what she said. Take all is the filtered Catholicism. And I really want to make that like even a hashtag. Like we're almost, because if you look at Catholicism, Islam is so close to Christianity, but I know Catholicism. I can't be a hypocrite, so I can't explain and be ignorant and explain Methodist or whatever else. But I was a Catholic, so I can explain that Islam and filtered Catholicism. So whatever is wrong, whatever Jacob said or Ishmael said or Joseph or whatever, and everybody said, okay, I feel like, I'm sorry I said the names, bleep it out if you want, whatever. But it's like, okay, Allah is the most forgiving and most merciful. So he sent us the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he said, okay, this is what's right. So what you heard here and what you heard there and what this apostle said and what that apostle said, it might be right or wrong, whatever. Allah knows, Allahu alam. So we don't know. So, but I'm telling you what Prophet Muhammad says. He is the last and final messenger to all of mankind. So I'm giving him this message, and how you perceive it, how you want to take it, this is it. This is it. And I love you, and you are made in my image, and I love you. You're my creation. So this is it. And we go by that and dedicate our lives to that, and try to do the best that we can and follow Prophet Muhammad. Like this is it. And I trust that Allah loves me. Allah loves me. Allah loves all of us. And this is the message he sent to us through Prophet Muhammad. And this is what we need to, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and this is what we need to do. And alhamdulillah, like we get to together, we get to lean on each other, and we're here for each other. And that's the best thing that we can get. I don't know. Anyway, sorry. I'll go away.
But another thing is, Muslims get a bad name. And people don't understand that Muslims are loving people, and like I had spoke to my brother, and I told him that I converted, and he was like a little upset that I did it. But like I told Aisha, a lot of people are gonna judge me wrong, but it doesn't matter what they think. It matters what I believe. And that's my belief. And can't nobody change that. No matter if you're my family, you're my blood family, no matter what. If you can't respect me for my decisions and you can't respect me for who I am, then you wasn't really my family. You know what I mean? And I feel like the Muslim family will not turn their back on me. And that's why it's very important for me to meet someone that I could really sit and talk to, and that I could really rely on, that could help me, because even though Aisha helps me with a lot, but she's not a man, and I need a man, to help me, because even though she's my spark, even though she's my fire and everything, there's a lot of things that I have to ask. So, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. So what are the steps you've made now to try and to gain that knowledge and to try and find a man to talk to?
Well, I had a brother that I met. I did my shahada with, and I went to a mosque and I prayed. It was right before Easter, and I kind of I work a lot, so Aisha yells at me about this, that I don't go to the mosque the way I'm supposed to, but it's just the way I work and everything is kind of hard. Even though I know that I could pray on the side of the road, I could find a place to pray and everything, but I just don't know how to pray yet. I mean, I watched him, I followed him, I did the washing, I did all that stuff. The wudu, I did everything, and I mean, I'm still learning, and but every time I call him or text him, he never gets back to me. So I kind of explained to him when I met him, when I went to the mosque, I said, I do work a lot. I'm a driver, so I work 12, 14 hours a day. So, when I feel like I need to speak to somebody, you're the one that I really rely on. You know what I mean? I told him, I said, I took my shahada with you. So it's like he's distant. He distanced himself with me because I wasn't going to the mosque and everything. I don't know, for whatever his reasons are. But I mean, I'm trying to find someone and it's so hard, so that's what I've been trying to do. So I just really sit there and rely on Aisha, because she's with me. So if I have to ask a question, I'll ask her, and she just, she helps me with the answer, and then we read and and everything. So basically, she's my everything. That's what I mean. She's my everything, and if it wasn't for her, I'll be lost. I mean, I'm still lost, but she tries to help me, get back to reality. So,
yeah, that sounds like a good start. Using Aisha, it sounds like she's a very reliable person, and you'll get the right information you want. But for this matter of trying to find further information about Islam, now that everything's online, we can connect you up with people, and you can talk to them. Even when you're driving and you don't have, I believe you're an Uber driver. When you're driving, you don't have a passenger. Then when you're waiting for your next job, then you can be talking to people, through the internet. asking these questions.
Okay.
So
I really will bless.
Yeah, we can help you with that.
Blessing.
We can connect you up, and also the best way to learn knowledge is to do it face to face. So if you have the chance or you have the time, then try and connect with the internet more, or just try and make friends who are Muslim. And if you can't join them through the mosque, then you can meet them personally and try to gain knowledge through them that way.
Okay, inshallah. But like I said, I hope that, there's been a lot that has happened to me in my past. Like I said, I'm 47 years old. I'm close. I'm close to that 50 mark. You know what I mean? So I've been through a lot of turmoil, a lot of problems in my life. Like I said, I lost my mom when I was 5 years old. I grew up real rough. I was every time, and Aisha don't even know this, and it's just, I know everybody's gonna hear this, but there was a lot of times when I cried out, and asked God, why me? Why have I been punished? Why was my mom taken from me when I was 5? Why was I child abused? Why was I beaten like a mule? I was beaten with extension cords. I was beaten like real bad. And every time I cried out, nobody was there to answer my prayers. When I went to the church, when I was homeless, the church that I did my communion in, they closed the doors on me and just turned me away. And if it wasn't for my brother to send me up here to Pennsylvania, I probably would have been in prison for the rest of my life or dead. And then I lost my older brother as soon as I graduated. He was a big part of my life. And it's just one death after another in my life. And, it's like, I've always asked for the help. I remember when I used to have to go do to confess my sins in a little pupil and sit there and do the rosary and everything when it says that, you shouldn't praise no statue. The normal stuff in Christianity and everything. And I just feel like if I would have converted a long time ago, I would have never suffered the way I suffered. I would, at least I would have known that I would have had a home to, I would have went there and said, listen, I'm going through some bad times. They would have never turned their back on me. That's what my friend told me a long time ago. I don't even know if he's alive. But he was like, his parents were very nice. They actually wanted to adopt me when they found out my mom died, but my dad didn't allow it. And because he always told me, no matter what goes on in your life, you could go to a Hamas and they will never turn their back on you. They will greet you with open arms. They will help you out. But I've always been a man that I was brought up that you don't cry for help. You go out there and you fend for yourself. You do whatever you have to do to survive. But nowadays it's so hard. And like I said, I'm just, if it wasn't for this girl, Aisha, let me tell you, I don't know what would have happened to me. I don't know where my life would have been. And I thank Allah, when I do pray, when I pray that first time and I sit there and I pray when I'm in the car, I say, Bismillah Rahman Rahim. I really truly believe that he's there for me and he's just telling me, just follow the simple steps and I will never leave you. I will never forsake you. I really truly believe that in my heart, but like I said, there's a lot, you know. I mean, and I hope that the average person, that whoever listens to this broadcast, will kind of relate to what I've been through, and just don't turn their backs on Islam, then, because it's a beautiful thing. It's, I mean, when she told me she went to Egypt, when she shows me the pictures where she lived at and everything, and when she shows me Abraham's house and everything, I mean, it's just so beautiful. And that's something that I've always pictured myself going to when I was going to a church every day, every Sunday, faithfully. And because that's where everything is made. Everything was, you know, that's where we're from. That's where everything started. And, you know, and I'm like, God, I'm like, God, she's been there. She has been there. She's, you know, she's traveled that way, and Saudi Arabia and everything. I mean, she's been all over, and I'm willing to take that trip with her, you know. But I mean, she was the, like I said, I mean, she's the spark. She's the one that really did all this. And it's like, I know I still have a lot of learning to do, but, you know, I've been reading, you know, and I've been doing what I'm supposed to do, even though I'm not praying the way I'm supposed to pray. But it's just so hard for me to even understand it. I mean, I do understand it a little bit. I mean, like I said, I went to the mosque, you know, and I did what I, you know, and I watched them. And I believe that when you pray 5 days, 5 times a day, you know, just showing the grace to Allah and giving him the praises and everything, that every door will open. He will open up new doors for you. And I really truly believe that in my heart. So that's what I'm saying. I feel like a hypocrite because even though I converted, I'm not doing the right thing. And I just want to be the right person. I truly do believe that. And I need help. You know, I need a brother to help me, say, hey, brother, did you pray? Hey, buddy, did you do what you're supposed to do? Because that's very important. And of course, in my readings, I read that, you know, he wants you to pray 5 times a day.
Quote the book. Tell the book. What's the book that she read? What's the name of it? Who's the author?
Oh, it's just in that book bag.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's just, you know, that's all he wants. He wants you to praise him. He wants you to bow. You know, if I do that every day, I mean, am I right or am I wrong for saying that? You know, I mean, that if I do what I'm supposed to do, a lot of doors will open up for me. Am I correct? Am I reading this the wrong way? Or am I misunderstanding it? Those are the kind of questions that I need to ask. I mean, that I need answered.
Yeah, it's 100% correct. You know, like the prayer is the most important thing for us, and it shows how we're worshiping Allah, or worshiping God. And you know that you mentioned earlier the feeling that you felt when you converted to Islam, when you took your shahada, that feeling of relief. Well, this is what happens. This is what happens when we pray 5 times a day. You know, we go towards the prayer.
I bet.
Go ahead.
We go towards the prayer. Sometimes we feel a bit lethargic, or we feel like we don't really feel like doing it. By the end of the prayer, trust me, you feel like you've reconnected with God, recharged the batteries, and you've got your smile back on your face. So this is what you need to do. You need to work on establishing your prayer step by step. Don't make it hard on yourself, but learn. I mean, can Aisha, she's teaching you how to pray?
Yes.
Yeah, you know, bro, like for real, honestly, you know how we always have to improve our salat. We always have to improve our salat, because I think even at the end of our time, we will never be perfect in our salat as Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I want to study his salat, and I want to know how would Prophet Muhammad pray, and how should I pray the same way as Prophet Muhammad. But like you're saying, like being a man and a woman, like in the different ways that we should pray and to be modest. Yeah, it comes as second nature and to be like common sense after a while. But like, I want him to see the difference. I want him to see how, and I want him to be like, if he ever has children in his life, I want him to be able to teach his daughters. Okay, well, because I don't know, maybe he'll find a brother that teaches him how we should pray and how a woman should pray, how a man should pray. But for a woman, it is different than a man for how we should pray, how we should prostrate and go into sujood and things like that. Like, it's just different. But anyways, it's just, I am so excited sometimes to show him new things, and it helps me too to like remember to do my salat. Yeah, okay. Maybe that morning I was lazy, but there's Angel, and I should be reminding him to do, a morning prayer, and tell him to say Al-Fatiha and remind him. So it like wakes me up. So it's like, alhamdulillah, like that's why we need to remember our community and the people that come behind us. And even the people that might be ignorant to us, the people that might be so rude to us. I don't care if Donald Trump said what he said. He might be a Muslim one day. Don't put him on the back burner and say, well, screw Donald Trump. No, you never know. Because I don't know the name of the man who, I don't know the story of the messenger. You watch it on YouTube. The messenger, if anybody watches it, the woman who ate the man's kidney or the heart because he killed her father in a war of Islam, she ate his heart or his kidney. I'm not sure which it was, but it's like she converted to Islam. She became a Muslim in a war against Islam. Back when it was actually a war against Islam, and she ate the man's heart or his kidney. I'm not sure which one it was. I'm sorry. Allah forgive me, but it's amazing. Like, you never know. That man next to you who's the most ignorant, rude, you can't stand him. He could become a Muslim, and you don't know that. Allah, only Allah knows. And we have to keep still leading by example and being that. Because I was my hijab was torn off by kids, and my friend who sold oils, the scents, he was in his you would see we were Muslim. Traditional clothing, whatever. People might not know the names of it. We do, but they might know the traditional clothing of Muslims. We were walking in it down the street, and people said they have a bomb, and everybody looked, and it was so embarrassing. And they ripped my veil off. They ripped the scarf off my head, and I felt like, oh my God. And there was one lady, she wasn't Muslim, maybe who knows? She was just an average person walking down the street, anybody walking down the street. She said, how could you do this to them? They were Black men. And in America, that the race is a big problem. Because you're a Black man, and you know what a minority has problems with here. Why would you put them through that? And they looked at her, and they were like shocked, like a shocked look on their face. And we were like shocked too, because I was like, holy shit. They even picked up plants out of the side of the street and threw them at me. And it was like, why would you do that? And you're America, you're African American. Why would you throw that at at Muslims that you can tell I wear the hijab, you wear the thobe, and our traditional name, the name, he wore a long dress, and I wore a scarf, and they said, "Why would you throw that at them?" She said, "Why would you throw that at them?" And they looked at her like they were stupid. Like, what? Why would you ask that? It was almost like they couldn't answer her, though. They couldn't say anything. They looked at her and just walked away. And it was sad. It was so sad to me. I don't know. In this city, there's so many people coming. And if you look at my city, it's Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We have so many people coming here that are from the Muslim community and religion, whatever. And we're being looked at like, what the hell are you doing here? Well, we're here and we're here to stay. And everybody needs to just accept each other and be at peace, because we don't fight. We don't. What am I going to throw a grenade back when you ripped off my veil? No, I looked at you like, what did you just do to me, sir? Like, no, that's not going to happen. Is that what you expected? It's not a Hollywood movie. I'm a real individual. I'm a real person. We're a real family. We're not ready to blow you up. We are a community of peace. We're people of peace. In my city, whatever. Syria might have ISIS, whatever. In Pittsburgh, the Islamic Center of Pittsburgh, we're a community of peace. And we just want to show love. That's what we are today. So as for today, that's where we're at. And to see that is just, I don't know, try to spread love.
Yeah, that's it must have been hard to go through that. So what is the Islamic community like in your area there?
You know what he said? It's like you have to try to find your individual, like where you feel home at. Okay, so, and this is probably everywhere, but it's like, okay, at the Alawal. I love the Alawal, Pittsburgh Alawal, the Hill District. We are a majority of an African American community. The Islamic Center of Pittsburgh. We have a big Arab community, Asian community, whatever. Wherever you come from, because it's like it's not only a mosque, but it's an Islamic center. So there's many things you can come there for. The Islamic Center, you can come there for clothes, food, to rely on things for heat when it's snowing out. Like, they're just different things. There's many things you can rely on. And they give you, it's a center for that. So, okay. And then Monroeville, there's a lot of, it's just, it's sad, but we go by races here where we live, and where a lot of the majorities of where we live are. And it's kind of messed up, but a lot of Pakistanis are in the Monroeville area, and they go to that, wherever you feel home at, is what I'm trying to say. And I'm being real with you. That's how we are in America. It goes by races. And if people don't want to believe that, and people want to start shutting that down because we're trying to make America seem great again, okay, well, that's what it is. So we go by race. So my community and my mosque is a lot of African American, Alawal, in the Hill District. There's a lot of Pakistani Asians in the Monroeville area. In the ICP, we're all mixed together, though. You won't see one or the other. And that's what's great about it. But if you don't want to see it great, then that's your choice, whatever. But
okay,
yeah.
And so this area that you're talking about now, is that where you accepted Islam 10 years ago?
No, where did I accept Islam? It, mm, I was actually with just my community of friends that I was with at the time, because you could accept Islam by yourself. Because you could take the Shahada in the church or in the what's the mosque, and you could take the Shahada by yourself, like anything, whatever, anywhere. I just want people to know that I'm so excited, like I'm going crazy. You can take the Shahada in your own heart between you and Allah. And it doesn't have to be with a man. You want a community to see it, yeah, because who doesn't want a community? We want people naturally, but it's like by yourself you can accept Islam, and that is so amazing between you and Allah. Because there's a lot of introverts who are like, I don't want to do all that. I'm scared. There's people that are like weirded out by it. You don't have to do that. You can accept it and go with it and live your whole life as a good Muslim without telling one human being. There has to be no witness that you're a Muslim. You can be that without one human being saying that she's Muslim, he's Muslim. Nah, you can be. And Allah knows. Allah knows. And just do the best you can and be the best. And if you're living your best life, alhamdulillah. I love Islam.
I really like that, the way you put it. It's not complicated, is it, to be a Muslim?
It's not.
It's all in the heart.
Allah doesn't want it to be hard for us. Allah wants nothing to be hard. So if it's hard for you, you might be doing something wrong. Because Allah does not want anything to be hard for us. Allah wants no problems for us. So if it is hard, yeah, the prayer, like your original question about my prayer, I still have struggles with it. But I think that this is what I learned. I will always want to better my salat, because I want to pray the best way, the same as Prophet Muhammad. I want to pray like Prophet Muhammad, because he is our example and what we should go by. And if I'm not doing it like him, and if I'm not prostrating, like putting my back a certain way, I know it sounds messed up and I might be like crazy, but it's like, I want to pray how I'm supposed to, because I love Allah and I know that's what I'm doing it the best way that I can. And then the days that I don't, because let's not act like we're not all people that some days we don't pray, or we missed a prayer, or we made up a prayer, or we're going through something that we didn't pray, because that's just, I'm not going to be a liar. There's times I don't pray, and there's periods where I don't pray, and I'm like, but I think about it in my head, and I say, I should have prayed. I should have did it. Before I was Muslim, would I have said I should have prayed? I should have thought about Allah, but it still reminds me of Allah. So it's like, don't beat yourself down. Allah knows what's in your heart, and He knows what you're thinking, and He knows how you're feeling. And so just give yourself that. If you know that Allah knows, that's all that matters. I'm not saying, oh, Allah knows, I'm good, so I didn't have to pray. Nah, just push yourself a little bit. But it's like, don't just say, Allah knows, I'm good. No, Allah knows that too. He knows everything. So if you just were like, Allah knows, no. Allah knows everything. So if you start getting lazy like that, you need to, and you're not getting down, there's something going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's something that I learned from my teachers, is that everything that Allah has commanded us to do, it's a benefit for us, not a benefit for Him. So for us to not drink alcohol, the benefit is for us. For us to pray, the benefit is for us, and it goes on and on and on.
Inshallah.
So actually, Aisha, so now we've talked to you, and you've mentioned a little bit about your life. I want to ask you now why you converted to Islam. Why did you accept Islam?
Why did I convert to Islam? You know, I was addicted to heroin. And I was sick. And I said, I can't deal with this anymore. I can't do it. And my friend started reading The Cave, about the cave in Jabril coming to Prophet Muhammad. And I said, like, subhanAllah, but oh my God, like that sounds like the Bible. Because the previous day they were asking me before this, why do you do this? And what is your problem? Wow, I felt well. And what, like, why do you do this? And I was talking about the Big Bang. Like I told you, I practiced Catholicism my whole life. I started talking about the Big Bang. I don't know if it was drug. I don't know what it was. Whatever. Okay. And then we worked together. We were friends together in work. And this person was close to me. And I said, okay, we'll hang out. And they found out the truth about me. And I opened up, and it's weird. Like Angel said, back in my past, I grew up and there was a family in my neighborhood and they were Islamic. And I always saw them and they prayed, and they were poor and they didn't have money and they didn't have food and they didn't have things, but they would come to one of my boyfriend's house or girlfriend's, I don't know what it was, one of my friend's houses, and they would come eat and they would shower and they would go back to their house because they didn't have electricity or anything. And I saw that, and I saw their mom pray. And when I saw their mom pray, even though she didn't have the things that we had, it just blew my mind. I said, like, look at her. She's still thanking God, even though she has nothing. And her children are still eating and they have at least a little bit, but they have what they need and they're a happy family. And they were still okay with whatever it was. Like if we didn't have electricity or a PlayStation or the microwave, we'd freak out. Like, no, this woman was still thanking God and feeding her family and giving them a microwaved meal to live for what we had. And like they were still, it's just, and then so anyways, moving on, I grew up and I don't want to explain my problem because I don't want to make it about my problem. I don't want to get about addiction, but it was about it. That's my struggle, is addiction with whatever it is. I don't care if it's food, heroin, alcohol, sex, rock and roll, whatever you want, whatever your problem is. I have an addictive personality, and that's my problem. So I found Islam, and people talk to me about, okay, the cave. Well, when I found out like Prophet Muhammad was illiterate and the things that happened with Jabril and the cave and like that story, it's just like thinking about this sounds like the Bible. and you're telling me things that I always believed. And it seemed natural to me, but nobody told me was like legit. So this is legit. Like, this is real. This is 100%. And you're telling me the truth. And it's like everything that naturally I felt in my heart. And you're telling me the truth about it. And it was amazing. It's like, subhanAllah, you can't, there's nobody that can tell me anything different. You can't give me anything better. You cannot lay down anything better than this. This is what is this is the truth. I just knew it. Especially about the Trinity. There's nothing you can tell me any different that is not Islam. I can't find anything better than that. I can't. I really can't.
Okay.
Even whenever I teach it in Arabic, when I teach it in Arabic, I'll teach it in Adee and then I'll say it in English, but it's like, all right, do you see in Adee how we rhymed, you know? So in Adee how it rhymes, we're like, all right, like somebody had to have said that everybody from every background is going to have to notice this and have to learn it. So I'm going to make it rhyme. Let's make it rhyme. Like, you can't make that any better than that. Especially even Al-Fatiha, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, even that rhymed just right there alone itself. Even Ameen at the end, it rhymes. It's just somebody had to write that cared about us and wanted us all from every background, whatever, wherever you're from, whatever you believe, to learn. Even if you don't believe, listen, learn it. It's going to catch, you know?
Okay, thanks for that. And also you mentioned that you had problems with your addictions and so forth. So what advice do you have for anyone out there that's thinking about trying to get rid of their addictions? They're thinking about converting to Islam. How will Islam help them to remove their addictions?
I'm afraid to say community because everyone has their own experience, but it's like for me, and hopefully the next person that has an experience like me, you'll help the next person. Helping somebody else for whatever their problem is. Everybody has a struggle. We all have a struggle. We all have our own jihad. So everyone has their own struggle. And we all will go through what we need to go through to show Allah. And our struggle is also our reward. Alhamdulillah. SubhanAllah. You know? So it's like our struggle is hard, but it's also a reward. And by you helping somebody else, even me sharing this right now, hopefully it'll help you. So take your struggle, whatever it is, addiction, overeating, sex, porn, whatever your problem is, whatever is not pleasing to Allah, Allah will reward you for saying this isn't right. Acknowledge that and share the message of how you'll be helping the next person. Be a part of. Don't keep your mouth shut. Like someone else is going through it. You're not the only one. And we help each other. And that's how we build our strength. We're so like with my culture, like being Egyptian, being Italian, being American, whatever, we're not supposed to share our problems that much. with people and come out and say these things to make our family look bad. But no, think about the person that you're helping right next to you, and think about so much more that you can, how much more you can do by saying that, and how Allah will reward you in the end. It's just not
fine.
specific about my problem, but any problem in general, because I feel like we all have the same suffering, whatever our problem is, whether it be whatever, and we all struggle. So I don't think my problem's bigger than yours, you know? So that's how I feel.
Thanks for sharing that, Aisha. Yeah, I mean, for a big majority of the people who convert to Islam, I would say that, you know, they all had problems and there was something that pushed them towards Islam. It was the same for me. I had 1,001 problems in my life. And someone told me to try Islam. So I did it and it worked. So, you know.
You converted?
Yeah, I'm a convert as well.
Oh, mashallah.
Accepted Islam at the age of 24.
All right. Alhamdulillah, I didn't know that. I felt kind of, you know, I didn't know I was speaking to a convert. A fellow convert.
All of our interviewers here at the Becoming Muslim podcast at ontoislam.com, we're all converts. We've got some in America and UK and Australia.
Alhamdulillah. That makes me feel so good.
Yeah, it's really nice to talk to other people and to.
I think you should say that first, because I think Angel here would have felt a lot better when we say we're converts, because I think he forgets. There was a period in time that I didn't forget, that I didn't know, and I don't want him to forget that. Like, I know what you're going through. I know how you feel. I know what you're thinking. And I'm here for you. I'll never forget. That's something you can never forget. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So do you have any other advice? Yeah, you're welcome. Do you have any other advice for people who are thinking about converting to Islam?
Welcome. Yalla. Welcome.
I believe this.
There's no fear.
If you
have no fear.
If you even think about it, if you thought about it, because everybody thinks about something once upon a time. If you have that gut feeling in your heart, then do it. Don't second guess yourself. You know what I mean? Just go ahead and do it, and do not hesitate. Because I feel like if you do hesitate, your rewards, the rewards that are promised to you, are not going to come. So if you want the rewards and you always feel down and out, like you feel like you're being outcast, and you feel like no one has your back, and if you have that feeling, convert. Because one thing that I've learned, that Islam will not turn his back on you, and Allah will not turn his back on you. So just go ahead and do it. Do not second guess yourself like other people out there do it. And that's how I feel. So if you really truly have that joy in your heart, you know, answer your calling, because everybody has a calling. Everybody has a purpose in this world. So if that's what you truly believe in, do not hesitate.
Amen.
Thank you, Angel. And you mentioned the rewards there, that the rewards are immense. What rewards are you talking about?
I feel that Jahala, I think I'm saying it right.
What?
Jana, excuse me, I'm sorry. That your ticket to Jana is more, it's there. You understand what I mean? I'm saying it I think I'm saying it wrong.
It's cool.
But I believe
You're good.
that if you do convert and you do what you're supposed to do, Jannah is going to be there for you.
Yes.
Given. You know what I mean? Because I feel like right now in this world that we live in we're in hell. And what's the proper Janine? I feel that we're living in Janine right now. So if you want the better life.
That's it, bro. I say it right, bro.
Do you mean hell, Jahannam?
Jannah. Okay.
Jahannam.
Jahannam.
Yeah, that's
it. I said Janim, but it's Jannah. Okay.
So I feel like we're living there now. So if you're tired of living in this life, then Jannah is where you need to be. And from my experience as a 47-year-old man, that Islam is, being a Muslim, converting to Muslim is your golden ticket. And that's the reward that I truly believe in, that, we're not going to suffer. We're not going to have no sickness. We're not going to have no problems. We're just going to be living up there, and inshallah that's the ticket. That's the golden ticket. That's the best reward that you could possibly ever get.
Okay. Thanks so much for that, Angel. That's excellent explanation of basically the purpose of life, is to get us into that spot where we need to be. So I want to thank both of you so much for coming onto the show today, Aisha and Angel.
Yes, thank you, brother.
So stay safe, and also I'll try and send you some of the information that I promised you during the episode, and also in the show notes. If anyone else is interested, they can find the links there as well. So
2021.
That's it. Excellent. And so if anyone has any questions as well, they can submit it through the website at ontoislam.com. So I'll give you the greeting now of peace. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.